Hello everyone and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarren along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and Matt, the 9-1 Eagles in Philly. I would imagine that has everybody's attention.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team with the best record in football right now, and coming off a big comeback win over Indianapolis right at the end of the game there. And so this is as complete of a football team as we'll have faced all season long.
Jalen Hurts, he's certainly their best passer, but after watching that Colts game, he may be their best runner too.
Oh, he's a dynamic athlete, a guy that you got to account for at all times. You know, his ability to scramble or those design quarterback runs, whether it's a design run or read option, he's a guy you got to account for at all times.
Now you played those guys in 20, and Jalen Hurts relieved Carson Wentz during the game, and he was kind of intriguing and interesting, but now he's firmly in the conversation for an MVP. Where have you seen the most progress?
Well, I think just his ability to throw the football. Certainly we knew what type of athlete he was coming out of college, but they've surrounded him with some pretty good weapons, and he's making the most out of those guys. And they've got a great offensive line and just a lot of pieces around him.
Now, Matt, the Eagles lead the National Football League in takeaways, 21 of them. Now, when you're going into a game, when that statistic is a factor, how do you address that in your preparation? At this point in the season, it's kind of a mental thing, or you do extra ball security. How do you address that?
I think all of the above. I think that certainly you show the clips of them and their ability to take the ball away on tape, but you also got to go out there and drill it as well. And we've definitely put the ball on the ground way too many times this season, and we're going to have to do a great job against a very aggressive defense.
Now, they've gotten some help through trades. What has A.J. Brown done for their offense?
Well, he's a dynamic playmaker, a guy that you better account for on every snap, and then they got Devontae Smith across from him. So it definitely creates some issues for your secondary.
Now, the last time I saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it was out here when you were practicing against the Saints, and he was trash talking big time. Now he's a Philadelphia Eagle, and he's leading the league in interceptions with 6. I imagine that trade worked out pretty good for Philly.
Yeah, and I would say for CJ as well. And he's a dynamic player, and he's got exceptional ball skills. He's a fearless guy. He'll take some chances, and when you couple his ability with their ability to rush the passer, it's a deadly combo. And they've got a lot of guys in that back end that have great ball skills.
Matt, it seems like a long time ago now, the loss to Tennessee, what do you take away from it?
Just missed opportunities, and there were plenty of them throughout the course of the game. You know, we defensively put Tennessee in a lot of third and long situations, and they were able to convert those, and, you know, gave up way too many explosive plays, especially on the back end. And then offensively, you know, especially in crunch time, fourth quarter, we were getting a couple stops defensively. We had an interception by Rasul Douglas. We had a great return by Keyshawn Nixon, and we couldn't convert into points. And we had some guys open, and we just got to do a better job of converting and making the plays.
Those big plays they hit you with defensively, receiver running wide open, nobody on him. What was the problem there, and how do you go about fixing it?
We had a few communication errors and guys just not doing their job to the level that we expect them to, and we can't have that. You can never have breakdowns in the back end because those are explosion plays, and you know, you can live with teams making plays as long as some of these passes are contested, because there's a lot of parity in this league, and these guys get paid too. But when you have guys running free, it's just bad ball.
Matt, offensively speaking, a big step forward against Dallas, but then a step back against Tennessee. It's got to be frustrating. Is there any explaining it?
Well, Tennessee did a nice job of, they really wanted to make us one-dimensional and take away the run, and I think a lot of, you saw there was a lot of single high defense, and when we tried to run the football, those backers, they might as well have been blitzing because they read run and they triggered right away, which should open up some holes in the pass game. And, basically we just didn't take advantage of our opportunities when they were there.
Okay, you guys beat the Cowboys, and then they turn around and beat the 8-1 Vikings 40-3. What does that say about your league this year?
Oh, there's a lot of parity, and you got to make sure that you're on top of your game no matter who you're playing each and every week, because we've seen it. We've seen teams that probably on paper don't look as good a chance at winning, and they come out on top. So no matter who you're playing, where you're playing, when you're playing, you always got to be at your best.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, rookie sensation, Christian Watson. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bell & Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel.
We don't know if this is the coming out party for Christian Watson, but boy, if it is, it's a pretty good coming out party.
5 TD catches in your last 2 games. It ties some kind of long-standing Packer record. Do those 5 TD catches, do they qualify you as a rookie sensation? That's what I've been calling you, a rookie sensation. Do they qualify you for that, do you think?
I'm not too sure. It's not, something that, I'm looking at too much. Obviously I'm excited for the opportunities and, the opportunity to play a role within our offense and obviously, help us try to win football games. The first thing I'm thinking about is just owning my role and trying our best to win football games. But obviously everything that comes with it is exciting. But that's more like the secondary thought for me.
Christian, over the weekend, I was watching ESPN, and you were featured on the "You Got Mossed" segment. You were doing the mossing, first touchdown catch against the Titans, stuff like that. Is that kind of cool?
It's really cool. Obviously, really exciting. Randy Moss being one of the wide receivers in the history of the NFL that I've looked up to a lot. Obviously love watching his game, and grew up saying you got mossed, or I just mossed you quite a bit. Quite a bit growing up. So obviously just to be featured on that, or just to hear things like that is really exciting.
Want to talk to you about the standing backflip. One of the most incredible athletic feats I've ever seen for a guy your size. But you've actually been doing that thing for quite a while. Mm-hmm. I heard you talk about it previously to now.
So it's something that I learned when I was really young. My sister did a bunch of cheerleading, growing up. I would get done with football practice, and we'd have to go pick her up from practice, and sometimes it would take a little longer, than expected. So I would get bored and kind of just like, okay, what can I do what can I do while I'm sitting here waiting for her to get done? So I would just go out on the mats and kind of just teach myself how to do different tricks. I've been doing it since I was pretty little, and I just, made sure, as I've grown, I just, kept on doing it to make sure that, I was still able to, and I just had it since then.
Rodgers looks to the air, and he's got the rookie over the shoulder, catch to the end zone. It is a touchdown for Christian Watson, and a backflip in the south end zone.
At 4-7, do you feel like you're playing sudden death football the rest of the way?
No, for sure. I think that every single game from here on out, it's a one-game mentality at this point. A one-and-done mentality for sure. For us, every single game from here on out, the next one is the most important one for sure. Obviously, I think that we need to have that mentality each and every day and preparation for it. And obviously, we got to continue to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be 1-0 each and every week.
Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. At Network Health, we do what's right, even when it's not easy. It's who we are. Health insurance is what we do. 4th and 1 from the 4, and the great Derrick Henry loses 2 yards. That deserves another look. The first thing to notice is that all 11 from both teams are in your picture. This is the real deal. All hands on deck, we're going to war. The next thing is that the Packers are in what they call their Bud personnel group. That's where they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 6-pack of big guys at the line of scrimmage. At the snap of the ball, the 4 interior guys all hold their ground and then some. First key to the play. The second key is out on the edge with Quay Walker. He plays like an outside linebacker in the Bud alignment. And watch him. The Titans have a blocker for him, but Quay dips his left shoulder and just rips through that blocker, almost like he wasn't even there. And Quay scores the first hit on Derrick Henry. The pile-up ensues, and when it's done ensuing, all 6 guys on the 6-pack are part of it, and middle linebacker Chris Barnes. And then, when the pushing and shoving and biting and scratching finally come to an end, check this out. You see this helmet in here? That belongs to Derrick Henry. Here is the line of scrimmage. Absolutely amazing. Quay Walker and company. This Bud's for you.
I know they're going to give him the ball, of course, and my main job was just to come steaming out the edge and just try to make the play. That's the only thing I had to do.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Spectrum One. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers.
So we fly World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials that were built in their honor at no cost to them.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to Dulles.
Every veteran travels with a guardian and visits those memorials and has time to reflect about their service, remember those that they served with, and just have that day of reflection and gratitude from their community.
If it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here.
This trip has been absolutely awesome. I've never been to Washington, D.C. I've never had a chance to. And without this honor flight program, I don't think I would ever have been here.
This is history that nobody can take away.
I had one veteran tell me he felt ashamed because he had never visited his friends on the wall. At the end of the day, he said, it was the best thing. I got to talk with them and I got to say goodbye.
Oh, those memorials are just, the pictures don't do anything. You have to see it. They're just amazing. The work that's been put into them, they're beautiful. They just are beautiful.
You know that this is an opportunity for reflection, and try to bring a little sense of closure, but at the same time, we want them to enjoy this trip, so, you love seeing the smiles on their face with them and their guardians. That brings joy to my heart.
Dexter can't be a better guardian sponsor. Boy, they gave me the best.
This is my first time on an honor flight, Stars and Stripes, and also it's my first time being with a lot of Vietnam veterans who have fought and sacrificed their lives as when they came back into the country from fighting over there, they didn't get a way of welcoming, and now Stars and Stripes are giving things back. He hasn't flown in many, many, many years, and he did this flight to come here and see all these monuments and tributes to what he and some of his colleagues have done.
I found his name in the book. Dwayne Arlen Vogel, he's a corporal in the Marine Corps.
It's really important for these veterans to walk away from today feeling that gratitude, and to get that kind of recognition from the Green Bay Packers and their alumni just really means the world.
Appreciate your service from the Green Bay Packers.
Watched them laughing with them all day, taking pictures. It's just a really special day.
Go, Pack, go!
memories that we all made today with the pictures that everybody took. It's just exciting. Memories that'll last forever. They're the celebrities today. It's not us. We have the honor to ride with them and walk with them, so that's what's making the day so great.
For us, as the Packers organization, just being able to support our veterans. We support all phases of the military, but these veterans, we know we are not able to play this great game without them. And just being able to show our appreciation, there's no better, way of doing it than, helping support stuff like this.
The Packers and Fleet Farm encourage fans to support our heroes during Salute to Service Month. Purchase a military-themed bandana at the Packers Pro Shop during November, and $5 goes to Patriot Canines of Wisconsin. Welcome back. No game balls today, Matt, but I did want to talk to you about some individual performances. Christian Watson, 5 touchdown catches in the last 2 games. Does he qualify as a rookie sensation?
Yeah, I think that he's starting to really come on, and the scary thing is there's still a lot for him to work on, which is a great thing for us. But he has done a great job of, when given the opportunities, of making some big plays. Obviously the free play, tight coverage, and he went up and made a play on the ball, and then the second touchdown we ran a little crossing route, and Aaron threw a great ball. We had great protection up front, and he made the play.
Defensively, you hold Derrick Henry to just 3.1 per carry. Who led the charge in that effort?
Oh, it was a collective effort. I think, that was one thing going into the game that we definitely wanted to take away, and I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job of that. But you got to play it on both ends, and we have to do a better job on the back end. And granted, we put a lot of pressure on our defensive backs in this last game by playing a ton of single high, but there's just, like we talked about earlier, there was a few communication breakdowns that led to some guys being wide open in the secondary.
Is Keyshawn Nixon going to continue returning punts?
He sure is exciting, even sometimes when you want him to get away from the ball, and he got a good hop on the one and made a great play on it.
It's worth the price of admission. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, margin of error. If it's not gone, it's getting close. You're the coach. What do you do?
Oh, we got to be at our best, and I think that starts with your preparation and how you approach every day, and being very intentional about the work that you're putting in, and being very mindful, and challenged everybody, coaches, players, to have one thing in mind that each of us has to improve upon, because we collectively as a unit have got to get better in all 3 phases. And I think there is a lot of room for growth for us, which is a good thing, but ultimately it comes down to action, and our actions on the field have got to be better in order to produce those results.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck in Philly, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and have a happy Thanksgiving.